Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I recently had a conversation about how topping is harder than bottoming, and I guess that a lot of people believe that. So I am going to give you 5 tips that kind of work for me and things that you can do to improve your topping game. I feel like a really good top communicates well. He would ask you, what are you into? What do you like? And if you want to go the extra mile, you can go further and ask, what are your turnoffs? What don't you like? For me, specifically when I'm bottoming, I really like kissing, I like passionate sex, but things that I really don't want to happen is when people have long fingernails and they try to put a finger up my bum. I really don't like that. It just is painful and I just don't like it at all. And surprisingly, I don't like hair pulling. Don't pull my hair. So I feel like some people would want to do those things intuitively, thinking that you would like that. But I feel like communication is key so that you do the things that they like, and I feel like sometimes some people like very vanilla stuff. And then there's others that like very rough stuff, like intense, like choke me, whatever. I feel like if someone wants those things, you might want to give them and be more satisfactory in the action. So make sure you're asking what do they like so that you can give them exactly that and not have like the surprise that you push the wrong button. So I feel like that's number one, communication. On second place, good hygiene. I feel like a good top has great hygiene. So please take a shower. Take a shower, wash it off. And if you have foreskin, pull it back and wash it well. I had an adult circumcision, so I can tell you that you probably need extra levels of care and hygiene if you do have that foreskin. Trim a little unless the person is into a lot of hair. So I feel like good hygiene gives you bonus points, even though I think it's the bare minimum. So that's number two. In third place is staying hard. I feel like you should be able to get an erection and maintain an erection. That's your only job as a top. And I feel like if you have a hard time doing that, or if you have some type of erectile dysfunction, you might need to go to the doctor. You might need to get that checked. I feel like sometimes you can use some medication and you could also use some natural stuff that could help you with that. But make sure you can do this so that you don't waste the bottom's time. And also, bottoms get very insecure. I personally get very insecure if someone is having a hard time getting an erection, because then I'm like, okay, so does he doesn't like me? Like, what's going on? So I feel like this is very important. And one trick I will tell you is stay away from nicotine. Nicotine is actually linked to erectile dysfunction. So if you smoke cigarettes or if you're doing a lot of vaping, you might not want to do that if you want to be a top. So if you want to be a bottom, by all means, keep the vaping, but don't do things that will cause harm to your penis, okay? For duration, I feel like this is a very subjective topic because some people like longer encounters, shorter encounters, but on average, the internet consensus is that penetration should last around 13 minutes. There's more foreplay and stuff like that. But in reality, like a good top will last around 20 minutes in penetration. 20, 30 minutes, I feel like it's more than enough. And I feel like a lot of people, feel like this is a very big number because they don't last that long or something like that. And here's the trick. I feel like if you are one of those people that get easily stimulated, you should have a release before meeting a person. So for example, in my particular case, I get stimulated easily. So usually the night before, if I know I'm gonna do something, I will release before going to bed or something like that. And I feel like that will fix it. I will last an average amount of time. You need to remember that we're all very stimulated. You go to TikTok and it's a lot of twerking. You go to Instagram, there's twerking and people naked, showing their butts. And then you go to Twitter and it's just pure sex, So you are very stimulated and you don't even know it. So if you feel like you're a little pent up, don't go meet someone unless they want a quickie, because chances are you're gonna release really fast. On the other hand, there's some people that are very slow to stimulation. So if it takes you a long time to release, I feel like what you should do is get more stimulation before your encounter, and that way the person is not gonna feel like, oh my god, this is taking forever. I feel like if something is lasting more than an hour, I'm like, okay, are you close? When is this gonna be over or something like that? I feel like some people do like, long encounters, but most people like a normal average time. So you should be mindful of that, and where do you fall in those two categories? If you are one of the people that lasts too little or lasts too long, and how you can go to that middle ground. Number 5 is position and rhythm. I feel like you should master at least one position, but if you have like a few positions that you're comfortable trying or doing, at least you should be able to maintain the rhythm in them and to make sure that you can do them correctly. That's not painful, that you're not at the wrong angle. And I feel like sometimes we want to try so many things, but our bodies do not have the flexibility, or we're just a little cumbersome to try those things. So please, if you are a good top, I feel like you need to master at least standing. I feel like you don't need to do that much, but I feel like you should at least have a few positions that you can comfortably do so that you can keep a good rhythm and think about the rhythm. I feel like some people just don't know that it needs to be something rhythmical. It should be like, slow or faster, in a way that it makes sense. Because sometimes people do some crazy movements and the bottom is thinking like, what the hell is going on? Like, what's happening? So think about that. As a bonus question, I feel like we should answer, does size matter? And I'll tell you right away, yes and no. For some people, size could be really, really important, and they are looking only for 7, 8, 9 inches plus. And other people, for example, me, I really don't care that much about size. I feel like there's pros and cons with each, which an average size and with a bigger size. So I feel like a lot of people don't want to top because they are self-conscious. Is this enough? And I'm going to tell you something. If you send someone a picture and they're okay with your size, just go with it, because chances are that that's what they're looking for. Not everyone can handle a big size. It takes certain level of expertise, and even some people need to do certain things to handle those things. It seems like a workout. So not everyone is looking out for the bigger sizes. Some people are more comfortable with the smaller to average sizes. So don't be hung up on that. Just have fun and just find the people that are into you and what you have. I hope you found this video helpful in some way, and I have one last piece of advice, and it is, get your effing ass up and top. It seems that nobody wants to top these days. Surround yourself with people that want to top. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.